Hi there again, it's Dana and Keely, and this is part two of Conversations in the Car, and we're continuing our conversation about Disney princesses and how they've evolved over time and the connection with women specifically, but how we've evolved as people about seeing how we're not a victim of our circumstances. We can create our own reality, and we're using them as examples on how that has shifted.
So, brief recap about how the first three official Disney princesses, Snow White, Cinderella, and Aurora, how they're more passive in their stories. And then you get to Ariel, which is where we cut off.
Mm-hmm.
They made her very more specifically to be proactive in her story. She doesn't wait for this opportunity to show up where she might be able to go on land. She,
because she wants her legs, so she has to do something.
Well, technically,
right?
When you think about it, Flotsam and Jetsam actually came to her, so she didn't actually
figure
that out herself.
Oh, those two snaky eels.
She didn't go off and ask people, "Hey, do you know how I can get legs?"
But she took the opportunity they put in front of her.
They put in front of her. Yes. So that, she wanted to go on land. She wanted legs. She was manifesting that ish, and
she manifested. She called them to her,
and an opportunity showed up.
That's right.
With Flotsam and Jetsam, and now, when the people at Disney are making these movies, they're not thinking about the whole manifestation thing, but there's a lot to be taken from stories that, a lot of people might not see at first. And how, sometimes the character, because in real life, a lot of the times things just happen. We don't need to do a lot of work. And the reason this is, an analogy we're talking about is something that people can relate to, because everyone knows the Disney princesses.
Wow. I was surprised how many of my friends did not know, and they had girls, but whatever.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But...
So most people...
They know of them.
Yes, they know they exist, yes.
So... Anyway, so she goes, and Ursula gives her legs, blah, 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 and she's, she, with help, is trying to get Prince Eric to kiss her or whatever.
Right.
And... she is proactive. Ariel is much more proactive in her story than a lot of people are. Not a lot of people, than the other three.
Yeah.
God, I'm kind of at a loss.
Well, that's just the beginning. They started making princesses to be
more proactive. And then,
so who's next?
Belle. Belle's next.
Mm-hmm.
Her horse shows up, her dad's gone. I'm not gonna, being the
That's right.
Gryffindor, because she's a Gryffindor, she's not a Ravenclaw.
Oh, Harry Potter.
That's another topic, but
some other time.
Being the brave, proactive heroine that she is, she jumps on her horse and she goes to find her dad.
Right.
She doesn't, she's being proactive in her story. She takes her father's place. But when you think about it, she's sang a whole song about wanting more than what she had.
She's manifesting.
She wants much more than this provincial life. She is running out into the fields, blowing dandelions. And, and they fly in the air, and she's like, I want much more. Guess what shows up a second later? The horse coming out of Philippe, coming out of the woods.
Right.
And there's her opportunity, because it came to her. Right. She didn't physically leave.
Right. She
didn't say, Papa, you know what? I gotta leave. I'm gonna go. No. The opportunity came to her. And a lot of people are like, well, that's not really the adventure she was looking for. But it was something more than it wasn't what she might have expected.
Which is so much like how the divine works, because you think you manifest something and you have all these expectations and ideas of how you think it should happen. And it always blows my mind how it's completely different. So you think about Belle. She's like, I want more, and she's probably thinking I'd like a normal man, and I don't want to live in like this thing with these things that talk, these like clocks and stuff that talk to me.
Inanimate,
right? So
animate.
I mean, she didn't really probably want that, but look what she got. She got something more. She got more and something better in the end.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
She trusted that whatever was there was what she was supposed to deal with.
Yeah, but she made the decisions
right.
that were presented in front of her, and she made those decisions what were best for her, but it wouldn't have happened if she just was content in her life.
Right. Totally.
And not, and this is the Disney version, the original fairy tale's a little different, but when you look at the Disney version that everyone knows, there's a lot of those kinds of, wants. There's Howard Ashman, who is an amazing lyricist and musical guy that did a lot of stuff on Broadway, and he did music on Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, and he's like one of my idols. I love him so much. Sadly, he passed away before he could really. God, he would have done so much amazing stuff. But he said something very interesting that is kind of, because he's a musical theater guy. There's always usually in a musical in the beginning where there is a song that the heroine sings, the heroine or the hero or whatever, that they sing about what they want in life, and you can tell in all the movies and all the musicals that he took part in, there's always that song of wanting, because if there isn't want, there's nowhere for the story to go.
Correct. Right.
If the characters don't want anything, then are you going to invest in the character? No, you're not. Right. So
who's after Belle?
Jasmine.
And
Jasmine.
Oh, she did.
She's a little more proactive. She actually got her butt out of there.
You think about it. That's when you think Disney started getting girls who were a little sassy then.
Oh God, yeah.
Because it was Jasmine.
They were all like Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, all sweet and gentle, and then you start getting to Ariel and Belle and Jasmine. They start getting a little more.
So Jasmine's a little sassy,
a little more personality.
And then who's after Jasmine?
Pocahontas.
She was kind of sweet. Okay, so who's after Pocahontas?
Mulan. And she was
totally. I love Mulan. I think that's the funniest ever.
But when you think about it, she doesn't specifically say that she wants more than what she has.
Right.
But you can tell she's in a position that just doesn't feel right to her. When they have to,
she takes opportunity to do something about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to,
just let it happen to her.
Well, yeah, she doesn't want to go to the matchmaker and
get married,
get a husband from that, and she's not comfortable in her position that she's in. And an opportunity arose. She didn't think I need to prove myself more than just a woman. I am going to go into the army. No, it was because her dad was, he wasn't capable, but he had to do it. So she decided to, take his place. But that was an opportunity that she didn't necessarily know that she really wanted. Right. I think it was more of just,
she felt drawn to it though, and if you really want to put a spiritual spin on it, she followed her intuition. Yeah. And what she felt was the right thing to do. And yeah, so who's after Mulan?
Okay, so Mulan was then we kind of have the stopping period for a while for Disney, and then the Renaissance is over. The Disney Renaissance, which was the 90s, was over. Then we go a couple more years, 2009, Tiana.
Right, and you had something to say about Tiana.
Tiana's kind of interesting because her whole message is work hard and you will achieve what you want in the end. Which is a good message to have. Right. Because, no matter what people say, if they knock you down, you got to keep going, believe in yourself, that kind of thing. That is a very powerful message, and that, it's not me kind of, what's the word? Well, degrading the message. Right. But there's more to it than you would think. She's stuck in her situation. No matter how much money she's making, they're not letting her get her building for her restaurant. And she's really downtrodden. And then all of a sudden, this frog shows up. And did she go out looking for a frog to kiss? Nope.
No, but an opportunity of a frog shows up. What are you gonna do?
Something that she was not expecting, but it was something that
she could see might be a help or an out.
Well, no, because what he offered her
Why?
was enough money for her restaurant,
Right.
even though he was lying. But it was an opportunity that arose that she took.
Mm-hmm.
An opportunity that just came to her.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't go out looking for other people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
granted, she didn't have a whole lot of time before she got rejected to go out looking for people.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same night.
Mm-hmm.
But, but guess what? Guess what?
What?
The thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense is that Disney kind of brands Tiana as, you know, work hard and you'll achieve what you want. Don't be wishing on stars
Mm-hmm.
because you need to work hard too. You can wish, but you need to work hard. That's the first time since she was a child that we know of, that night after she gets rejected.
Mm-hmm.
She wishes on a star. And she's like, please, 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 please. And all of a sudden the frog shows up right next to her.
Right, okay.
That's the power of manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
You can go
Right.
out and you can work as much as you can and you can keep
Mm-hmm.
fighting all, the
Mm-hmm.
people and fight upstream. But sometimes all you have to do is ask. And the opportunity
like a mixed
will arise.
message going on there.
I know, it's really interesting.
Mm.
So, she gets turned into a frog, blah, blah, blah. She
Right.
finds love in the process. And, in the end, she has someone who supports her in getting her restaurant in the end.
Right.
He didn't
Mhm.
give her the money or anything. It was still her
Right.
money, and it was still,
Mm-hmm.
her working hard for that restaurant. But if she didn't have that whole adventure, who would have known, she might not have got what she wanted.
She manifested her resources.
Exactly. She might not have got what she wanted, and she might have needed Naveen
Mm-hmm.
she might have needed that extra bit of support, emotional support. The alligator, Louis.
God, I can't believe I
Louis?
remember all this stuff.
Or is it Lewis? I think it's Lewis.
I don't know.
It's Lewis. Anyway, he growls at them at the end, if you remember, and at the guys that, refused to give her the building for her restaurant. So she didn't meet that alligator.
Well, I have to tell you. Okay, so this is something, I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, and we're going to go into a third session, I think, but I want to say this before we go. Today I was thinking about how all the people, it's great to be able to manifest, and it's great to be able to pay attention to the opportunities that come in front of you. But it's also really important, I think, to recognize who the assets, the people assets in your life, and she did. She had people who were supporting her and helping her and protecting her,
Pretty much her mom.
Right.
And then
that's true.
She got more.
Right, and to
Well,
recognize
her mom
that,
and her friend.
right,
and
but
all
to
that
also
jazz.
recognize that that's okay, and that's actually the universe also providing. It's not always financial resources. A lot of times it's the people that show up in your life that help you get.
And sometimes you're ready, and you have the resources, but sometimes it's just not the right time.
Right.
Or maybe you're, waiting for the right people to show up to help you.
Yeah.
To be on your side.
Okay, so we've got more Disney princesses to talk about. So let's pause, and we'll be back for part 3.